Hello and welcome to this video with me, Coach Reese. How are you all doing? So in today's video we're going to talk about the half spaces. We're going to take a look at what they are, we're going to take a look at why they're so important, and finally we'll take a look at the different ways that we can get the ball into a player who's within the half spaces. As always, I will leave timestamps and chapters below. Let's get started. So what are the half spaces? Well, we already have our 5 zones that run the full length of the pitch. So if we take a look at the zone in the middle, we'd refer to this as the centre zone. If we take a look at the 2 zones on the outside, we'd refer to these as the wide zones. So that leaves the area in between, and the area in between is what we would refer to as the half spaces. So from left to right, we have our left wide, left half space, centre, right half space, right wide. So why are the half spaces important? Well, in an ideal world, we'd like to be in the centre of the pitch. And the very simple reason for this is the goal's in the centre. So if we're in the centre, we have a direct route towards goal. But for this very same reason, the opposition will choose to block the central areas. So we tend to see an opposition's mid or low block especially block the central areas, which makes it really difficult for us to have that direct route to goal. Because of this, the space does tend to be out wide, but as we've discussed in previous videos, a player in the wide area, up against the touchline, our options are cut in half. So we can only play forwards, backwards, or we can play into a congested central area. So where do the half spaces come into this? Well, a player within the half spaces with correct body orientation can still have a view of goal while still being able to play in all directions. So a player in the half space still gets the benefit of being roughly in the centre of the pitch without straying too far away from it, to a point where we're up against the touchline in a wide zone and we lose that ability to play in all directions. So when we start to think about players being in the half spaces, we tend to pair that with playing between the lines. And if we have a player within the half spaces and between the lines, this poses quite a challenging question towards opposition's defensive lines. So for example, if the opposition are in a low block that has a defensive line of 4, and we've got players positioned in all 5 zones, so we've got a player in the wide zone, the half spaces and the centre, the player in the half space, should they receive the ball, poses a question to the opposition centre-back and full-back as to which one should go and apply pressure. So a player in the half space is very dangerous and can cause the opposition a lot of problems. So how do we get the ball into a player within the half space? Well, the first option that we have is what we're going to call in to out, which simply means we're going to play the ball from the centre of the pitch with a direct pass into the half space. This is the simplest way to access the half spaces, but it can require a player with the ability to play what is probably going to be a more difficult pass. Another advantage of playing it just directly is it allows us to leave players who are potentially in the wide zones in positions of space, so if we can get the ball to them, we may be able to utilise a winger's ability in a 1v1. The next option that we have is what we're going to call out to in. And this means that we're going to play into a player in the wide zone first, and then back infield to a player within the half space. This can be a really effective way to go round an opposition's block, or round a specific line within that block, so that we can release that player within the half space. The next option that we have is we're going to play forward and beyond the player who we'd like to be on the ball within the half space and set it back. So a really good example of this is using the false 9. So we will play beyond our intended player into the false 9, who will then play back to our desired player within the half space. And the final option that we have is we're going to overload one side of the pitch. So we might overload our left side of the pitch and we might play short passes in this area. This will hopefully draw the opposition towards this side of the pitch. Once we've done that, we will then switch the ball to the right side of the pitch where we can release a player within the half space. So that's a quick look at the half spaces. We've taken a look at why they're important, we've taken a look at what they are, and we've taken a look at how we might enter them. As always, if you did enjoy the video, I do have a Ko-fi page. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I've been Coach Reese, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.